Many of us dream of living in a forest amidst tall trees and a nice shady house lot. But if that's going to happen, development has to occur in a series of stages where the soil is cleared away. Utility lines have to go in, streets have to be installed, and once the soil is cleared away, erosion begins to occur. And in forested areas, very often that soil is either quite thin or it's very sandy soil that washes easily, and that can cause problems with soil erosion. Last week on Oklahoma Gardening, we introduced you to the Tulsa County Blue Thumb Project. Well, that project has gone statewide now, and a big part of our effort is to teach developers and builders how to hold soil in place on construction sites just such as these. And that's really important to you, the homeowner, because if you build a new house, you're going to want to landscape this lot once it has a house on it. And you're hoping, I'm sure, that the original soil is still in place to keep the trees and plants growing healthy. We've partnered up with Natural Resources Conservation Service and the County Conservation Districts to do a 3-point program to educate builders and developers on how to protect these soils when they go in and develop a site. And earlier today, we visited with Gary Bishop, Tulsa County District Conservationist, about what we're doing in Tulsa to teach this very vital practice.
Well, sediment is one of our top pollutants in the United States, and as soil particles move downstream, they damage fish spawning areas and habitat for fish. Also, they clog our drainage ways, ponds and lakes, and sediment that moves into a pond, for instance like a city lake, you have additional water treatment costs to clean that water to where you can drink it. Also, sediment moves into our drainage ways, clogs pipes and culverts, and you have to clean that out, and you have maintenance costs involved there. There's several different conservation practices, or what we call best management practices, that can be applied on construction sites. And these practices vary depending on the site and the conditions. But to name a few of those, we might talk about hay bales, silt fence, temporary seeding, a permanent vegetative cover, hay mulch. These are a few of the practices that can be applied. In this neighborhood, the soil particles would move downstream into this sediment pond that's constructed, and most of those would be trapped in this pond if you did not have vegetative cover applied upstream. If there was no vegetative cover applied upstream, the soil particles would move on downstream into our drainage ways, streams, any ponds, eventually end up here in the Arkansas River, and move on downstream into the Mississippi and the Gulf of Mexico.
Now that you know how important it is to keep soil in place on new developments and building construction sites, you may be wondering how you or your local developer or builder can get additional training in putting in some of these practices we've shown today. Well, if you call the local Tulsa County branch of the NRCS and the Tulsa County Conservation District at 744-1595, they can help you in this part of the state. To contact the Oklahoma County contingent of the Blue Thumb Project in the Oklahoma City area, call 84-THUMB, T-H-U-M-B, and they can help you set up a training program for local developers and builders there. Something else has happened out of the Blue Thumb Project in Tulsa that we're real happy about is that the Builders Association of Metro Tulsa have banded together and formed an environmental committee, and 20 local developers in the Tulsa area have voluntarily signed on to be part of the erosion control hotline. And if you call this number in the Tulsa area after driving through a new development and seeing that the soil is not being held in place, the Builders Association will contact those participating developers, and they'll go take care of the problem right away. Very often they have several projects going on at once and don't often get the erosion control in place right away like they might want to. Also, they're working very hard to put in tree preservation plans in their area, and I think this will also be an added benefit. If you've also dreamed of living in a nice green forest someday and plan to build a new house, we want you to keep in mind that if those trees are going to survive and the land will be held in place, holding soil in place needs to be a top priority.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. You can also find more recent videos on our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.